Morning, everyone. My name is Dhirat Ladia. I'm a judge at the International Court of Justice. Cooperation in international law remains anchored in a traditional state-centric paradigm, very transactional. Cooperation should change, in my view, by shedding this transactional character in favor of a more solidarity-based character. In this mold, it would be motivated by the desire to ensure a better world for all. If international law were to acquire this more solidarity-based character, it would likely facilitate greater compliance. Might such a shift occur in my lifetime? This would require a major shift in international law, something akin to what some have called a Grotian moment. It is unfortunately unlikely to occur in my lifetime. Thank you.
As the world becomes more interconnected, nations will be more likely to recognize the benefits of working together to solve global issues. We are already seeing this trend with the increasing numbers of international agreements and organizations, especially regarding climate change and human rights. As technology continues to advance, it will become more easier to monitor and enforce compliance with international law and institutions, which will further encourage cooperation. The world should become more equitable and inclusive, where everyone should have equal opportunities and access to the basic human rights, and government should be more transparent and accountable to their citizens.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Gary. I'm a professor at UCLA Law School and executive director of its Promise Institute for Human Rights. Refugee protection under international law is at an all-time low, with increased state cooperation to deter refugees through grave rights violations. Further, refugee protection is applied in a discriminatory fashion, largely unavailable to marginalized groups, including refugees who are Black, brown, or fleeing the global South. The current emphasis on soft law instruments facilitating operational protection as charity, rather than holistic protection as legal obligation, must change now. Cooperation and compliance for refugee protection must respect the rights of all and requires a balance of global hard and soft law mechanisms inclusive of all stakeholders, foremost impacted individuals and communities.
I'm Rebecca Hamilton, Professor of Law at American University, Washington College of Law, and currently on a Fulbright at the Islands and Small States Institute in Gold Coast. Our ongoing failure to address the structural racism embedded in our international institutions, our inability to secure compliance from some of the world's most powerful corporate actors, and the unaccountable use of digital technology to manipulate our information ecosystems, all reduce the likelihood of reaching consensus on what issues even merit cooperation. The signature challenge of our lifetimes, anthropogenic climate change, should serve as a unifying wake-up call to spur global cooperation. But without also addressing these other systemic problems, we'll continue to hamper our own progress.
I'm Holger Estermeier, a professor of international and EU law at the Diplomatische Akademie Wien, the Vienna School of International Studies. International law is in crisis. Commitments on climate change fail to effectively tackle the most existential risk to our species. International law has not protected Israel from the attacks of October 7th, nor civilians in Gaza from bombing and famine, nor Ukraine from aggression by its neighbor, nor Syria, nor Sudan. Time and again, Henkin's assertion that almost all nations observe almost all principles of international law almost all of the time rings hollow. But the shortcomings of international law are a call to arms. The system we inherited needs to be rebuilt for our times. Cooperation is not a choice, it's a necessity.
Hi, I'm Glyder Hernandez. I'm a professor of international law at the University of Leuven in Belgium. Behind us you see the lovely university library. I just wanted to read out my statement for you about where I see international law moving in the 21st century. In short, international law will remain a formidable, powerful instrument, but I fear it will remain an elite tool of governance, one that only works in the hands of those who know their way around the toolbox. For me, the question is whether we can rise to the imminent challenges which loom before us, and though recent years hardly inspire confidence in our capacity for solidarity, I dare hope that we will continue to fumble towards a shared sense of our common humanity. It is not only legal or institutional change that we need, but I feel that a greater empathy towards one another may be the quickening element that might unlock the potential for international law to serve as an instrument for global collective action and to drive meaningful change.
I'm Harold Hung-Joo Ko, Sterling Professor of International Law at Yale University and former legal advisor and Assistant Secretary for Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor at the State Department. I'm optimistic that international law will go back to the future, which means going back to where we started in building a global international legal order. I'm also optimistic that what should be, will be. The international legal order should become more humanistic and inclusive. Cooperation and compliance should be less state-centric, more transnational, and less dualist, more driven by future issues and past disasters, and more attuned to rapid changes in technology and culture, and less intent on maintaining the status quo. The system should be more focused on the justice of the order than just on order itself. And finally, the international legal order must deliver results, not just hope. That's my hope for the future.